I recently downloaded a file by this name, 2020 MY Region Mobility Report, and it's a report on the way that different countries around the world have reacted to COVID-19. Actually, it doesn't matter what it's about at all, except MY stands for Malaysia. I put it into Power BI. I did nothing more with it. I simply published it onto my workspace, and that's what you see here. And what I was interested in doing was asking Power BI to create insights into the data. Now, it's not a massive file, a couple of thousand rows, a few columns, and this is what came out of it. There are many things that it's found. What I was most interested in initially was this here, which is clustering. So by means of comparing retail and recreation percentage change from the baseline and grocery and pharmacy percent change from the baseline, put that on a scatter graph, organize it by date, and this is what it did. 3 clusters, 1, 2, and then there are 2 points here, which it's highlighting as potential outliers. Let me focus that, put that in focus mode so you can see it a lot better. And then you can confirm variables it's used. So date, grocery and pharmacy, place ID, and retail and recreation. What do I do now? In this kind of case, what I try and do is to replicate what they did. And so let's go back to Power BI now and do our own clustering. Here's a table of data, and you can see it's 5,500 rows deep and a few columns. And here are all the fields. I just threw it into Insights. What I did, I created a table with date, the clusters comes out of it, grocery and pharmacy, retail and recreation, and I didn't put the place ID there. So I'm going to do it again, do it live. Let's create the table. This time, I'm going to put the date there. I am going to add the place ID, which it mentioned, although not a lot of evidence that it was there, but I can't call them liars, can I? And then I put, so the grocery and pharmacy change from the baseline, and then retail and recreation. So I've got all 4 there now. Now let's see. I'm going to try and do the clustering, and it's not showing it. All right, let me get rid of the place ID then. Make the date show as a date. There you are. It will do it now. So I limit it. I typed 3 there. What I'm going to do now is leave it at auto. Clustering for date. Auto. It works for a few seconds. It's done it now, and it's called it date clusters 2. So let me draw a scatter graph now. Retail and recreation on the x-axis, grocery and pharmacy on the y-axis, and date in details, and then clusters 2. I don't know how many clusters there were, I didn't check, but it's still 3, but it's different. Can you see that? When I didn't constrain it, but it did its own constraints, and it's changed things around a little bit, which is a little bit interesting, I suppose. There we are. So I've got 2 versions of this now. It is what it is. What I've done is I've demonstrated how to do clustering. All you do is create a table, put your elements in the table, watch out for putting too many things in there because you just simply can't cope with it. But online, it says it included place ID, but it wouldn't let me because of the number of variables constraints. But that's it. That's what we have. And of course, if I can just do one more demonstration, if I draw our favorite cluster column chart, and just for example, by date, put the retail and recreation, and then put clusters 2 in there in the legend, and there you are. Take cluster 2 out, put cluster 1 in, and there is a difference. And can we see the difference? Yeah, it's a bit different here, slightly different here, different here. So yeah, you've now got some insight into the data which you maybe wouldn't have before, because you saw that Insights did clustering for us, and now we've learned how to do clustering. And next step is, what does that mean? Can you identify in the data set which clusters are which? Answer, yes you can. Just look at the table. And if you sort that column, the cluster column. Now you've got all the ones together, all the twos together, and all the threes together, and now you can make some sort of insight of your own. Okay, there you are. That's clustering then with Power BI in almost a random data set. That's how to do it online, and that's how to do it in Power BI for the desktop. Thank you for watching. Duncan Williamson, February 2022.